Call of Duty is not coming back to the PS4 or Xbox One due to the fact that it takes up over 500 gigabytes and barely runs. And when it does, it's slow and loud, which is interesting because it's the same reason my ex girlfriend broke up with me. I was over 500 pounds, could barely run, and when I did, it was slow and loud. This is the G Word, the only internet talk show that does recur, does not deter, and is named after a slur. This is all one shot, one take, no edits. So what happens, happens. But know that this is real, authentic, heartfelt, straight to the dome content, baby. Pokemon scalpers have now started buying up limited edition Pop Tarts, Pokemon Pop Tarts, because nothing is sacred anymore. It does make sense, though, because Pop Tarts are pretty much like Pokemon cards in that most packs have nothing good in them because they're weirdly dry. But every once in a while, you find a really good one and eat it. And yes, I do eat Pokemon cards. That's why they come in vending machines. Duh. GameStop is looking to buy eBay, but are struggling with a $30 billion difference between what they have and how much eBay costs. Hold on just 1 second. They could start a GoFundMe for the money, but it probably wouldn't work because every dollar they ask for, I'd have to say, the trade-in value of this dollar is just 10 cents. When asked about the financials in an interview on CNBC, CEO Ryan Cohen said, "It's all explained on the website. That's what I say when people ask why this show isn't funny. It's all explained on the website." Minor Sero spoilers ahead. Chuds are calling the game woke because the main character is Indian, which I get because given that he's an abusive alcoholic, I agree that it makes more sense for him to be white. And a joke I almost cut, GTA 6 is not coming to PC on day one because optically it's not great to release a game to people that refer to themselves as the master race. Steam controllers sold out as soon as they released, causing error messages for customers, many of which were not able to secure one. I bought the first Steam controller, and while admittedly it wasn't great, at least it worked. Which brings us to our main topic today, gaming on PCs. I'm going to take a break for a second and slow down my teleprompter because I really need to slow down my teleprompter. It's kind of crazy, honestly. All right. That was a brief interlude, and I'm sorry. Here we go. It's going to be better from here on out, I promise. New data has come out from marketing research firm Circana, such as suggesting that exclusives are the primary reason console players don't switch to PC. But I genuinely don't care what research says, because I'm positive that what they actually mean is that it just works. I play 90% of the games I play on PC, but I find consoles highly appealing and frequently wish the games I played were on console. Because the understated reason players choose consoles is they just work. PCs have their uses, but they're fiddly and frustrating and fail immediately anytime that you try to play something that's not a top 100 played game on Steam. And sometimes it even is a top 100 game. My love of indie games didn't necessarily begin with my love for the quaint and novel, but it started because I really liked the idea of downloading an executable and then you just get to play the game. Like for some people, Warframe will just pretend to launch, but then reboot your computer, which is such a prevalent issue. There's troubleshooting threads everywhere for it. Did you want to play the Sea of Thieves through Game Pass or on the Xbox app? Nope, sorry, just doesn't work for some people. Fallout New Vegas? Nope, you can't play that. Or you can try to go through several hours of steps to try to get it to run. Multiple Reddit threads about all of the work they had to go through just to play Fallout New Vegas, which is good. But I shouldn't have to put that much work in to play it. Want to play an online competitive game but didn't manually turn on Secure Boot in your BIOS? Well, you're an idiot. You obviously have to reboot your computer, go into your BIOS, and turn on a setting that only 3 games require ever. And if you're not computer savvy, good luck. And don't get me started on trying to play local games with Xbox controllers, which are the controllers that Microsoft literally recommends. Some games just don't work at all when you launch them because you didn't install the right driver for the controller. So you have to restart your computer. And you think that that was all you had to do? You petulant child. The game won't work unless you launch the game in big picture mode. So Steam can tell Windows it's a controller, but actually this game doesn't work in big picture mode because all controllers are registering as the same player for some reason. This happens all the time. Trying to play a game that's not on Steam? Well, you have to exit Steam for it to work. Oh, and sometimes your computer will take the left joystick movement as permission to use the mouse on my computer for some reason, but it doesn't end there. Game Bar. Have you used Game Bar? It's pretty bad. Did you turn Game Bar off? Because if you didn't, you're in for a ride, and when you try to do anything normal with the controller, you wanted to get back to Steam's big picture mode by pressing the Xbox button in the middle of the controller? Nope. That one just pulls up the Game Bar menu. You idiot. So now the only way to exit big picture mode is to grab your mouse and keyboard so you can go into the settings and turn off Game Bar, so that the button in the middle of your controller with the X actually does what it's supposed to do. Seriously, if you haven't used Game Bar, I don't recommend it. And if you are using it, I recommend you turn it off. Windows also will decide which controller is the first player, but will not communicate this to you whatsoever. And wait, there's more. Want to play a two-player game with someone on the couch with controllers? Nope. It was made before people had brains, so one of you needs to be on mouse and keyboard, while the other plays with the controller because the game was made that way. So good luck getting a good lap desk set up. Or you can just go sit at your computer away from the person you wanted to sit next to. That way you can feel like you're playing online with the loneliness it brings, but you get to be in the same room. So much fun. And don't get me started on the Serious Sam games before 3. And this applies to Serious Sam the First Encounter, Second Encounter, and 2. Because to play these locally, you need to go into the keybinds menu and manually set the controls for every controller. No, you can't just bind the controls for controller use because it's controller specific. So you need to sit at the computer and manually go through every control option for each controller, and you'll need to get up from the couch and go back to your computer, because even though Steam said the game has controller support, it just meant that technically the game supports controllers if you're literally willing to do all of the work. It's kind of like when you order a sandwich at a sandwich place, expecting a sandwich, and you sit down and the server just slowly brings you each piece of the sandwich, one by one, expecting you to put it together. They support the making of sandwiches. Serious Sam supports controllers the same way that your cousin supports Black Lives Matter, which is by posting their support for it on their page and not doing anything about it. On PS5, though, if I play Serious Sam the First Encounter, it just works. Because like your other cousin, it doesn't need to state its support because I just assumed it was the case to begin with. If PCs want to be the gaming boxes of the future, then we should probably focus on them just working when games are launched. This is not helped at all by the fact that when people do get a game running, after hours of fiddling, they'll post it to Reddit as if it's some triumph worth celebrating. And finally, the worst part is that PC players just love to fiddle with their settings and their game libraries, and some probably just love to play the actual fiddle. That was a lot. I'm out of breath. It's so hot in this mask. This has been the G Word. Subscribe to the Patreon for more of this nonsense. Cut jokes, submit your own jokes, become an official mopper, and you get a PNG of a made-for-you official mopping license. You can see the divine order, the definitive list of everything in the entire universe, Vote on things to be ranked in the divine order, member-only live streams, mostly daily newsletters, and whatever else you could want. It's only $3 a month. And I have negative $600 in my bank account, and all I've ever wanted to do was make content that counters mainstream narratives in video games, covers indie games, and makes people laugh. Sorry, I'm exhausted, and my teleprompter is not moving fast enough. You gotta tighten this up. I'm just set the teleprompter on one speed, and I don't have a way to manually control it. I'm also trying to control the slideshow. Thank you for mopping. Fuck InMotion hosting. Fuck Rob from Rob's Game Shack. And in the words of Hideki Kamiya, you deserve to die 1,000 deaths. I forgot to do the slides. May you be cursed to never play games again. Truly, truly thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. One shot, one take. Let me know in the comments if you think the one shot, one take thing is better, or if you want to see this like tightly edited. Thank you. Truly. Thank you. It means a lot.